It's good to see you guys. It's been a while.
Derek, how happy are you to see Jimmy back?
He has been, he's been someone that, our lockers are just separated by one, and we have had a lot of great conversations where we're both in there very early, and so some early morning from training camp to now, just great times getting to know each other, just becoming good friends and good teammates, and having him, we knew that he could do some of these things. Obviously, we hit him early in Green Bay, and now the past couple of weeks he's, been, a viable option for us, and just to see him still play at that level and still be able to execute at that level at his age. I heard him talking about his training and all that kind of stuff, and that's like the new thing. Like, as you get older, you have to change certain ways that you do things, and he knows what he's doing, and it's paying off for him because he still executes at a high level. He made the best play of the day was that catch. It was unbelievable. It's like the only place I could throw it, and it's Jimmy Graham. Like, I watched Drew do it enough. It's like give him a chance, and he went up and made a heck of a play. So, you watch that play, and you're like, he looks like he's 28 years old. And really impressed. But I think the greatest thing is his leadership. What he brings to our team, just the mellowness. Just his demeanor. When it's tough, when it's hard, those grinding days on a Wednesday or Thursday, he's been just fantastic for our team.
What happened between you and Eric in that situation?
Yeah, always. Yeah, I mean, things happen, man. We were both had our reasons. We were both right for an aspect. We were both wrong for an aspect. But that's not the only time that's ever happened. With me and a player or an offensive lineman or a center. That stuff happens, and the best part about it, Rich Bisaccia always taught me those moments are going to happen. You're going to have conflict sometimes, confrontation. Always circle back. So we went and circled back. We looked at each other, both smiled because we both already knew, but that was with all the cameras around. That stuff gets caught sometimes, but there's no problem. It's all good.
You've had a couple of those this year. Is that something that you kind of
me and Eric
think about or be mindful of?
Well, I'm just excited that we won a game today. People gritted through some stuff, and that's what I'm happy about.
You don't think that conflict's like maybe an issue, though?
Brother, I'm not trying to be negative with you anymore. I'm sorry.
When you say fight through it, how much were injuries? How much were you affected? How much were you trying to fight through stuff physically? Did that limit you at all?
Everybody's dealing with stuff. They put the little injury report out there, and there's everyone. There's 8 guys on every team every year, or every week, I should say, and everybody's dealing with stuff. I grew up in a time where, there are certain things that you may not put your best film out there, but are you still willing to go out there and be out there for your teammates, right? And we have a lot of guys that make those decisions all the time. Like, no, we're going to be out there, and it is what it is,
Derek, you're pretty good with transparency. How would you assess your play today?
Yes, we won. We won. I got enough yards and touchdowns for a lifetime, man. I came here to win, and hopefully we can just keep doing that.
Derek, everything you went through this week, how does it feel to get the win? How are you feeling?
Yeah, my favorite thing is to watch my teammates celebrate. So, we got to go in that locker room, and everyone was dancing. Coaches, special teams coach right in the middle of it, watching Riz dance and all that. I mean, this game's hard enough, and so whenever you can get a win and watch everybody celebrate, knowing, you see guys, a smile on their face, what they dealt with all week, what that guy dealt with, and you watch them and you see that smile, and that's those, like Mickey said in there, like you're going to remember the people you do it with, and because their story, you know what's happening in their life, and that's what was cool to me. I saw 2 or 3 guys I know they were dealing with some stuff nobody knows about, but they came out, gritted it out, and we were able to get a win and see them smile. Even though it was a hard week, it was really cool.
There was a report that you got a rib fracture. Is that right? And is that limited at all in anything you were trying to do?
I did. I've had a couple this year. I think I'm up to 3 now, which there were guys last year on the team here that were dealing with those, and they what's crazy is they had a whole bunch of them last year. They know exactly how to treat them, just stuff to help you be at your close to as best as you can. And so Ribs on court or any rotational athlete are tough, but I felt good enough. They felt confident enough that I could at least be out there and execute.
Is that like a mobility risk or a pain management thing, a little bit of both?
Yeah, because pain would be the mobility issue, but we were able to do some things to help that as best we could.
Did that
the other
affect the
one
game
Sorry.
plan? Sorry, yeah. Did that affect the game plan, what you guys were trying to do, trying to work around it? Could or couldn't do?
No, we knew. I mean, this scheme, they want to stop the pass. They hold their shell looks. They want to take away the deep stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I think they're only giving up 180 yards passing all year. And so the emphasis. I used to play that scheme all the time in Denver. That's the emphasis. You got to be able to run the ball to win the game. And when you do have pass plays down the red zone, try and be efficient. Try and hit. Got to hit a shot. There's just formulas to playing certain teams. And trust me, I'll throw 20 yards in a game and get a win any day. Like I said, I came here to do that. So however we have to do that, we've thrown for 300 and lost, and it's a crappy week. Like now everyone have a smile on their face. We got to win, and whatever the scheme is, man, you just everybody tries to attack things differently. And so going into it, it wasn't like maybe they didn't tell me, but I knew it was going to be a heavy run the ball day because every time I played this scheme, you got to be able to run the ball efficiently, and we were able to do that.
But Derek, at what point does the way you win matter as much as getting the win?
Man, in 10 years, I've been a part of some really big wins, and you have a huge day on one side of the ball or the other, and then I've been a part of some or some games where you have a great day and you lose, or some games where you lose. And one thing I've learned is that you really don't care how us in the building, we don't care how we win. You just got to win. This league is way too tough. To try and nitpick. The nitpicking is to get better for the next game. And if we're going to do those plays and that kind of stuff and get better as individually. But you just take a win anytime you can get them. You always hear a coach. I've been a part of these where it wasn't pretty, and then hey man, we able to get a couple at the end and put it away, and it wasn't pretty. I've heard coach say it wasn't pretty, but we won. And so I've just adopted that, and I believe that any way you can do it, you just want to win.
It was a unique play. Did you get away with one-on-the-one, or what did you see when you threw that one that went to Andrew's feet? I guess you were glad he didn't catch it? Or
I was trying to dirt it at Chris. Chris had broke in, the safety was there, and I was trying to dirt, but as I got hit, it just kind of fell to him. But I wasn't trying to throw it to Andrus. That was not a target. Yeah.
Derek, I know, I'm sorry to belabor this, but
You're fine.
People see the quarterback and the center arguing throughout a game on television. It's going to be perceived as this is just something bubbling out of the locker room. This is something that's happening that we're now seeing.
Yeah.
What would you say to that? And does that perception matter?
The perception of it, no, that doesn't matter. To say, I mean, I've always been honest with you guys. To say that there was a problem before, we had a great week of texting each other and practice and laughing and having fun and all that kind of stuff. So me and Eric have no issue. In the moment, something happened. The reason doesn't matter. Everyone wants to know the reason. Everybody wants to know the why and what. Doesn't matter. We were both right. We were both wrong. At the same time, we both were like, my bad. He was like, my bad. I was like, my bad. And that was it. And I've done that with my two older brothers probably 50 times in my life, and it happens. But when it's like in a frustrating moment and that kind of happens, it is intensified, as I've learned, because people want to know, oh, no, what's wrong? There really is nothing wrong. We had a moment that I've had some of those moments in my 10 years a lot of times, with a coach, with a teammate, somebody. And just I always learn, you always circle back, you make it right, and you keep going. But that kind of stuff happens all the time at practice. Not saying with me and him, I'm saying just with teammates. That stuff happens. And you just make sure you always, circle back, make it right, and we did that. And so I love Eric. I love Eric to death. But I would be completely honest with you, there's no problem.
I think one last question for Derek and then Carl Granderson.
Derek, when did the rib fractures happen? Sorry, I mean, it's not going to be, I just need to ask that.
You talking about?
Yeah, is that
there's,
the Green Bay game or the Minnesota game? The other rib fracture?
Yeah, there's the other two no one even knew. I played through them, but the one was last week, Detroit. Yeah.
But you'd already had the two?
A different time. It was a different. It wasn't those two games. It was a different game. Yeah. Good. Yeah, appreciate it.